Does your wife know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Okay.
She said you need to do what you need
Welcome
to
to the Inside Integration Podcast. My name is Chris, and we are on the road today. I am joined, as always, by my friend over here, Jason.
What's up, everybody?
And in the back, probably rightly so, we have Keith Zieber from Elemental LED
Nice to meet you.
and Lucetta, and Amy Dorado, also from Elemental. And our two friends here are on the very last leg of their barnstorming tour across the country to see if they can hit every Topgolf.
It's like we're touring with Metallica or something.
It feels that way, truly. And I've lived through two events. We're on our way to our next one here, and what is this, like the 20?
This is 27, and we've gone all across the United States. I personally have done 83 flights on Southwest and 7 on American, so a few flights this year.
I can't count my flights.
Wow.
And I should tally them, but I
You
can't.
count how many times you've had fajitas.
We've had
I'm
fajitas.
so done with fajitas.
We've had-
If I
we've
never
had-
have them again, I don't care.
We've had the fajitas bar 24 times. We were lucky enough to have some wings.
There's only so many options at Topgolf,
Yeah.
but as long as you've got the mac and cheese balls,
That's all you
really-
need.
That's all you really need.
Kind of
With
We
that.
we did stray and get mac and cheese balls and the donut holes with the injectable syringes of different good flavors.
Yeah, that syringe came over, and it's like there's 3 syringes, right? There's like buttercream, there's
Raspberry.
raspberry, there's chocolate, and then there's a 4th syringe, which is for diabetics that just
I was
pop
gonna
it
say
right in,
diabetes.
Get some insulin.
right after
Right
you
in
have
your arm.
In the words of Wolf or Brimley, it's diabetes.
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 But so what are these trainings all about? I mean,
Yep.
obviously we know because we've been through it. You guys know, but for our listeners here, what are you guys covering in these Topgolf extravaganzas?
So Lucetta CI basically wanted to educate the industry on linear solutions. And so we decided that one of the best ways to meet with the integrators was to go out to their locations, not to impact their business for the whole day. So we start the training at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So most of the folks can still spend a good part of their day on their busy work day. So what we do is we basically have them owners and installers come to the event at 3. We have our training by Amy in our training department or Cameron.
Oh yeah, I should add that too. Cameron's here with us too. He's just vibrating so
Yeah,
fast that you can't
You can't
him.
actually see him.
He's sitting right here.
He's sitting in
Yeah,
between
right in
us.
the middle.
Yeah.
He's invisible because he's
So-
He's all over the place. He's quick.
Very dynamic.
So we do the training on the linear tape lighting solutions, and then we have a fajitas bar, and then we have some Topgolf, and that way basically folks are not taking up their whole day, but they're home with their family at a reasonable time. Hopefully a little bit drunk, but not too bad. And
just a buzz,
just
not
enough to
be
drive.
bad.
Just,
Ubering,
Ubering
of
home,
course.
Ubering, of course. And so they've been just so impactful. We've had everywhere from 20 integrators to, in Fort Lauderdale, we were overwhelmed. We had 85 integrators in Fort Lauderdale and had to actually get another room because it was such a big turnout. But it's just been awesome to educate the CI industry on the linear solutions, which is exploding, allowing folks to grow their business, get more wallet share, make 50-60% margins. And we couldn't do it without the training team. Amy and Cam have put together a program where it's very focused on applications, solutions, not going too deep technically, but allowing these individuals to understand from the owner standpoint how to make those 50-60% margins and grow their revenue for their company, but at the same time have address the installers and technical folks with enough information so that they feel comfortable with the technology.
And it's definitely, I mean, it's definitely a tight training, and all the dealers that I've talked to at the last 2 events, and I'm sure the guys in Seattle will share that sentiment when we see them later. It's a 3-hour training, but it goes by fast. There is a lot of material, but it's a very good introductory level. Okay, this is what the architecture looks like. These are the different options. Here's different ways to light certain things, right? Like this is what a grazer is. This is what this is the magic of this kind of strip, and this is what this many LEDs per foot looks like, and that sort of thing. And a lot of guys came away from it, even before we got them liquored up and turned them loose on the golf course. They were pretty excited about. Oh wow, that was really great. That was really comprehensive.
Yeah, we give away free demo kits. If once they sign up with an account, they get a portal login and so on. Amy is real good about letting them know that the demo kit comes where they can really hit the ground running, but we're so easy about getting additional samples. Amy really stresses that they can get whatever samples that fits the different solutions they're providing. So it's been really good. The other thing we had workshop. We mixed it up a little bit where we had some hands-on workshop. These last two we have not done the workshop because it gets a little bit out of hand where we're not sure if that's what we're going to do next year because cutting and putting together the tape and the channel and everything.
You got
Having to ship it
25
all.
How to ship
Yeah,
it
that's a
all.
lot
Yeah.
to travel
It's
with.
just a lot. So
Well, and
And it can
that's
be overwhelming
that's
too.
the thing. If you want that level, the other thing that Elemental and Lucetta offer, which is pretty amazing and kind of unheard of, is they'll, if you can get yourself to Reno, like they will put you up for
Yeah.
days of training where you'll cut the things, you'll see the factory,
Yep.
you'll have a steak at the pepper mill and go see Lake Tahoe and all this other stuff.
And
Yeah.
we take care of all the landed expenses once you get into Reno, Nevada.
Just got to get there,
Yeah.
and
We
flights to
take care
Reno
of
are
everything else
kinda
after
cheap.
that.
the other thing
biggest
that's really
little
great
city in the U.S. It's great.
the other thing that's really great about the training in Reno is that we've had up to 40 integrators. So, integrators can take what we are pitching with whatever way they want. But what's really nice is that they have, 39 other integrators there that they can talk to,
Yeah.
collaborate with, get best practices, get what's working, what's not working. And we have many of the integrators that come to our training then have relationships with other integrators around the country because they're not competing, they're just helping each other grow their businesses
The
together.
collaboration is
It's
great.
great.
And people always make friends
Yep.
with each other. And it's a really good way to support each other in the industry. And also when you're leading these classes, because it's only 3 hours where our trainings are a couple days in Reno, we have to compress that without making that overwhelming. Especially for people that are just getting into our product and learning more of the linear low voltage lighting. So I think that's a nice introduction for them. And then it makes them want to go and further their expertise in the industry by going out to our trainings.
That's the other thing that Amy's good about starting off the trainings with asking the room, who's familiar with lighting, and then two, who's familiar with linear lighting, and then we've got a mix, of some people that are looking like a deer in the headlights, like what's this all about, and then we have people there that are basically experienced doing, $500 $1 million a year in lighting, and are very interested in just taking it to the next level. But we address both those different areas.
Yeah, and it's again, Elemental is one of the very few. I mean, you guys, the amount of stuff that you do and the amount of outreach that you have, it's low voltage lighting, linear lighting is a new thing for so many people, and the way that you guys are really just kind of trying to pull as many people into this as possible is pretty great. And to your point about networking and that side of it, yeah, the camaraderie of so far 2 dates of what we've seen in San Jose and in Portland so far. Yeah, all these guys, everybody's kind of mixing together. Everybody's having a good time hitting golf balls and doing
Yep.
whatever. It's really nice to see, integrators who we're all in the same boat. We all have the same struggles. It's nice to see that. And it's nice of you guys to bring everybody together.
And the bonus of building relationships with people.
Yeah,
So we have
that's it.
four more Top Golfs next week in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and in Long Island, and then Amy and I are doing 3 of them: Minnesota, Chicago, and so it's going to finish up the year with a few more, and then we're going to kick off 2025 with Light Up Palooza. So please come to our booth at Light Up Palooza, and then after that we have our schedule for 2025 all done. For next year, we're going to do hit the road with Top Golf again.
Wow, another. I mean,
Bigger and better every
good
year.
Lord. Yeah, that's a lot, and it's great. So you guys have been traveling around, obviously, again, 27 dates or whatever it's been. What what have you guys noticed as far as obviously you're going through these things, and what are some pro tips for surviving that sort of thing. What obviously you're you're packed. I mean, we all travel a lot here. What's
So the
what do you think?
whole thing with the schedule is, and it really it sounds daunting as far as 83 flights and so on in the year, but at the same time, with the schedule of the trainings being at 3 o'clock, what we normally do is in the mornings we can get caught up on our day in the life business that we're doing, and then we usually have this week we have three in a row, which is not normal because of Halloween being tomorrow. We'll have to be back for our little goblins, but but what's nice about it is we've got these three. We've had the mornings to take care of things, and then normally we do Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we have Wednesdays to do sales meetings on the road with folks that couldn't make it to the events, and we're traveling from, let's say, Tampa to Fort Lauderdale or whatever, Orlando. We got that time, so it's really a lot of travel, but at the same time, we try to manage it as well as we can.
And we have a lot of good support from our
Yeah.
company as well. You know, they give us that control to make sure that when we are scheduling these dates out, that we give ourselves enough time for travel and a little bit of downtime, being able to do our work as well, because I'm from the headquarters. I live in Reno, and I still have responsibilities with emails and stuff like that, and expenses and everything that goes along with the travel, that they trust us and they don't hover over us to just make sure that we still have that little bit of time to decompress and get our thoughts together and rejuvenate for the next one.
Right.
So
So
I get
it's
about
really good.
120 emails a day.
Oh yeah, easy.
Well, and yeah, that kind of dovetails. Well, and I understand why, because at every one of these trainings, you guys give out your email addresses and say, "Hey,
How
before
can
your
we
first
help?"
order, contact us."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do I
You know.
contact at Lucetta? I know, I've got Keith.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Right. Where do I fax this napkin with a diagram on it?
Well, and really having the
How do we do that?
support of our reps, and the people that we work
Yeah.
with, like all over marketing, like it's a big thing for us to have these good relationships, because we couldn't do it without our support teams.
No way. And we
I
could,
mean,
we could,
it's invaluable.
that's the thing I think is probably the most important thing about these events is with our rep firms, like all over marketing, as far as their relationships with the geographies where they're at, it allows us to have, just stellar participants. So they're qualifying and asking if they're interested, and if they're not, they're selling them on what the value is, to just come and check it out. If you're really advanced, you'll learn some things. If you're just getting into it, you'll see how you can crawl, walk, run, and the rep firms basically are hard on themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason, yesterday we had a great, phenomenal day in Portland of 20 plus integrators, and Jason was like, "Man, I hope I'm not shown up by Jesse tomorrow."
We're a competitive
I'd like the
bunch, you know what I
competitive
mean?
bunch. So that's the way it goes with all of our events around the country. I have next week, as I said, in King of Prussia and in Maryland, and those two reps are going at it as far as who's going to have the most attendees. So it's good.
Nice.
A little healthy competition.
Yep.
Yeah, we're a team, right? We're not here to stab each other in the back, but
Right.
if I think, moreover, at least from my perspective, I've got more people to draw from. So if I don't draw more than he does, I feel like it's a bit of a personal fail. But that's just that's my insecurities being broadcast out over the internet.
Well, but I mean, that's offset by Jesse being actually likable.
Yeah, well, it is. It's true. I mean, one thing, if I didn't like the guy, that is very true.
Yeah.
Jesse's a great dude and a fantastic asset to our team.
The other thing that I've seen with the stellar rep firms that we have across the country, we have 10 rep firms with 73 sales folks with Lucetta, is they've become as passionate as Amy, Cam, and I are
Yeah.
about linear solutions. So
And it's genuine.
Yeah,
it's not just
just-
scripted or
yeah.
fake.
And I think that passion, there's a couple of things behind passion. One is that the technology is exciting, but the number one rule is that these folks are all coin operated and revenue generated, revenue motivated. And so I had a rep firm this morning call and say, there's just orders coming in every single day, 3,000 here, 4,000 there. Then I get a big deal and it's $40,000 or $60,000. But once you get the folks on board and they're rolling, the business and the revenue just flows in, and they do their own thing. You still need to nurture them, and that's what the rep firms do. Is that when Jason or Jesse or Robert are out there in the field and they are presenting, they present their line card. They go over our solutions as well as the others, but we could never cover the geographies the way that the rep firms do with their relationships. So it's great.
So and we definitely appreciate the flagellation that you guys are giving us here as reps.
Man, it's genuine.
no,
Like
it's-
that's honest and transparent
Yeah.
Yeah,
conversation.
we're a cheat code for the geography of the country. Right?
Absolutely.
But I literally have to step back
For sure.
and say that this industry is new to us, not me, but to our company. And so to sell the owner on the rep firm, there was hesitation at first, believe it or not,
Sure.
because he's saying, well, why are we engaging with all these folks? The reason is because we cannot have the relationships that they have in the geographies.
Yep.
Maybe it would take 10 years or maybe never be able
Right.
to get those relationships. So I cherish the relationships they
Yeah.
bring to us, and it's just been phenomenal. So I don't take the rep firm relationship lightly at all, because you guys are an extension of us and our partners.
So changing gears a little bit
Yep.
here. What has been, and I'm going to put you on the spot because we didn't go over any of this ahead of time, but what has been your favorite city so far? Keith, we'll start with you.
My favorite city has been Fort Lauderdale,
Fort
just
Lauderdale.
because we had 85 integrators there, and everybody, we major messed up there because we had so many people. We were delayed a little bit, so we said just order what you want.
Oh, gee.
Mistake, because normally we say, okay, order some beers or cocktails or whatever while we're training to kind of wind down. But all of a sudden I saw trays of cheeseburgers and ribs and food just coming in. We're going to have a fajitas bar in 2 hours.
Right.
So we had fed probably half of the 85 people before we fed the folks at the fajitas bar. So that was my favorite one, because it was,
It wasn't the wet t-shirt contest that ended up.
Yeah,
No,
you know.
it was.
when you see me in a wet t-shirt, I do have a B,
Something
I do
else
have a
only
B
wet.
cup, but
All right. So Fort Lauderdale, Amy, what's your favorite city been so far?
It's hard because there's two. I love being all over the country. Even when I was younger, before I was in this position and traveled, I was military brat. I've traveled my whole life, so it's really hard to pinpoint like one.
Michigan.
But I will say, yeah, I loved Michigan, I love Minnesota, and I love this area here in the Northwest. So it's really hard just to pinpoint one because I find value in each of the places. Aside from that, so there's beauty everywhere.
Was your favorite part of this area us getting stuck by a lumber train,
Or on the
us getting
bridge.
stuck on the drawbridge? What-
No, it was
which-
the cheeseburgers yesterday.
It was Jeff.
Jeff.
It was Jeff the cow.
cheeseburger.
Jeff the cow.
So we got up here a little bit early yesterday and we're driving around trying to find something to eat. And like Jason basically just put a pin in GPS and we found this, what was the
In the
place
middle of
called?
nowhere.
Not only that, we're going over a bridge right now. We're looking at Mount Rainier.
It was in the middle.
Matthias's, that's what it was, or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was like
Yeah.
Matthias's.
But it was in the middle of nowhere. It was like in the middle of land.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description, but it was basically surrounded by cornfields, right? And you walk into this place and it's like there's John Deere hats hanging from the ceiling,
Yeah.
from everything. There's
Potato bags.
potato bags, this decor and whatever. And we knew we were in the right place. Like we
Yeah.
knew
Super comfy.
walk in the door.
Yeah.
Yes, we are exactly where we need to be right now.
I have a scumbag radar that was just sort of like zeroing in.
Yeah.
Right spot. It was like, I don't know what it is, but there's baked on grease for sure.
Yeah.
And my radar's picking it up. We're going there.
50 years of the memories of what was on that grill imparted into every hamburger.
Chefs
And it was delightful.
Rads,
Yeah.
all
And
the
our
guys.
conversation, the ladies on the table next to us, they got quiet when they were listening to us.
Yeah, it was. Well, that's something we do everywhere we go.
We kind of take over.
It's a good
so-
time.
But
So-
yes, our cheeseburgers had a name, and it was Jeff, and that was, Jeff was probably a full cow like hours before.
Fresh, never frozen.
From the backyard.
So good.
They even say that in the menu.
Right.
Right,
Never frozen. And I was like, oh, okay, so, they've got stuff in the back up there.
right. Well, it doesn't really get that cold here, so
Yeah.
And then we proceeded to talk about it while eating the hamburgers
yeah. We
and
in
different
in
slaughterhouses.
memoriam of Jeff, we talked all about how you dress
Little
cows,
cafe.
all kinds.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
exciting. That's right. I forgot about all that.
But yeah, I mean these are the things you guys get to experience. This is why they love reps so much, is because
We have a good time. We
it's,
have great hosts.
cornball stuff like this that goes on. But as far as
What's the for you guys that are travelers and maybe somebody listening here? It's like, what's your favorite, hotel chain and why? Because, I think there's some pretty strong schools of thought in my former travel days. I thought I was a Marriott guy, and then like after the 900th courtyard with disappointing food and disappointing
Yeah.
room and all that stuff, I kind of flipped to Hilton.
Yeah.
But-
Hilton Garden Inn is my favorite.
Okay. What
So
about-
the thing that I do is I look at it as, I travel so much that I want to see like how can I play the travel game the best? So I have airplanes and I have hotels. So on the airplanes I fly Southwest and I fly American. So I get the companion free,
right?
and I have so many miles. I have two daughters. They're allowed to use the miles. If it's 30 days or greater, they don't have to check. And if it's under 30 days, they have to check. As far as the hotels, I basically use hotels.com. And so what I do is I double bang it. So I get points every 10 nights at a hotel. With hotels, I get a free night. But then I stay at Hyatt, Hilton, or Marriott. I get the points from that
That's
property directly. And my game I play with the attendant at the hotel is sometimes they'll say, well, you're getting points from your third party. We can't give you points for Marriott. And that's a challenge for me. I've only had 2 reject me where I say, well, do you get some kind of a bonus, or do you get credit or
There
something
you go.
for not giving me the points? Because I really would like those points. And some people will say, 2 people have said, no, you don't get double points. Take a hike. But most of them give me the points for Marriott, Hilton, or Hyatt. Plus, I get my hotel points. Plus, I get only rent national rental car. I get points from them too. So it's a fun thing to do because we might as well utilize our travel to get an additional
It's your
perk,
little monopoly.
perk or benefit, right?
Your own
It's
little
just what-
monopoly.
Yep.
Just what you want to do after you've traveled 87 flights for the year
Yep.
is go on holiday again.
No, I just went to Europe
back on a
for
plane.
14 days.
Oh, excellent. So,
So Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott for me.
Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott, and then you're a Southwest or a American Airlines guy.
Airlines, yep.
Is that
You know,
right for
sometimes though, if it's near the venue, like for me, I was in St. Louis and I was trying to find the best and safest place to go because I
nope,
was
doesn't
Trump-
exist.
I was going to say,
Huh?
not anywhere.
I know,
in St.
but I
Louis,
was by
area.
myself traveling, so I was like, all right, what do I need to do? And I always kind of look near the venues. But like for instance, in St. Louis, I stayed at that Union Station, which is the old railroad station, and that was a work of art.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
And our company really does take into account very seriously
Yeah.
that we have, female travelers,
Yeah.
Amy, Olivia, Jaber, who works in the CI team.
She's been
is-
on this podcast.
They basically need to stay in the safest place they can stay.
Correct.
No issues with cost.
Yep.
The other thing is we really want them to take Uber Black just because we want them to have that added service and so on. So the company's really good about that, and I think it's important. I
Yeah.
really do. I have two daughters, and I would be nervous them
Out there on the road
out there
alone.
on the road alone. You know, so it's something that you really got to be careful of because you never know what's going to happen. So
Even in the safest places too. It's just you got to keep your head
Well, that's
on
'cause
that
it's our
swivel.
turn.
yeah,
This is all about lighting and illumination.
we're doing
and
that.
Here we are in the darkness.
Yeah.
Wow, how did we get here?
we got it.
What are we, Keith? Where are we eating tonight? Any idea yet?
I don't know. That's my concierge is
Oh,
Jason
yeah,
Savage.
so I
and,
think-
he picks. You know,
Yeah, so
I just go where he tells me.
I think we might try to do maybe a Duke's or something.
Yeah,
like
there you
that
go. I love
in
Duke's.
What is it,
Tacoma.
Duke?
Anthony's, Duke's.
Yeah.
you know,
What is it, Dukes?
Duke's Chowder House.
yeah.
Okay.
So Duke, I can't think of his last name, but the famous surfer from Hawaii,
Yeah.
the original surfer.
That's the
Uh,
one they have in Tahoe.
Yeah, they've themed the
Jake's on the
restaurant
Lake,
around
yes.
all of the famous
Interesting.
Dukes. So if you walk in there, there's all these pictures of different Dukes on the wall,
The-
and it's a fantastic local.
And usually, if you walk into a restaurant and see a Duke, you don't want to stay there. But this is a different sort of
Yeah, yeah.
Duke, in case you're following.
Oh, it's great.
Duke Kakanamalo or something like that,
Yeah.
I think is his name. But regardless of that, Duke's Chowder House is on point, and I think where we're going to be headed today. In that line of thinking, what's your favorite national chain? If you're out there on the road and you're like, it's
Oh, I
9
gotta eat.
o'clock at night and there's nothing else that's locally beautifully open, what's my, what is it? Is it microwave food from Applebee's?
Oh, the easy one for me personally is since it's a California-based chain is BJ's Breweries.
There you go. Okay.
They have a good mixed menu. They're open late. They got good service.
Their cherry chipotle
And you can
salmon
walk-
is great.
And
You
you
got a
can watch.
Pizookie there.
Yeah, the bazooka, yeah.
Suzuki's, I was going to say.
It's all about the
You
Pizookie.
can watch watch sports because as travelers, we kind of go from one season to the next to be able to watch it at the restaurants or the bars. So it's good.
There you go. All right. Well, we're out of the traffic, so we're obviously out of Portland.
Now we're cruising, yeah. I was
Now
gonna
we're
say.
now we're cruising, and
We can stop by one of the indigenous casinos if you like, out here in the middle of nowhere.
All right.
We go by the Birkenstock factory. You can get some,
Some Jesus sneakers.
Some Berks.
some Birks.
There you go.
This is Crunchyville, so you can you'll fit right in.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta, the Birkenstock pairs very well with the Subaru and the
Yeah. Well, Amy usually
IPA
wears
and
Crocs
beard.
or
So,
Birkenstocks.
I do.
really.
I love my Crocs. I do have Birkenstocks too, but
But
it's
yeah,
Socks
so
with your
that's
sometimes.
I think that's gonna be it for us today, and I think that's a good place to wrap it up here.
Thank you.
I agree.
Good conversations, good people.
That's what it's all about. So if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, what is this all about? Check out Lucetta. Check out the diode LED, the elemental LED, and of course Lucetta CI websites.
We just launched today our Lucetta
Wasn't an elk.
Lucetta
Not an elk. That was a cop.
our Lucetta CI website, new website. So go check it out.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, new stuff.
What happened?
I have no idea.
That was cool.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Are we gonna get a ticket?
No. My thing just stopped and started recording again. But whatever. I think we'll
It jumped over. Maybe it switched to different.
How do you do
different
that
file.
then? Do you edit it then, or do you just go raw?
Yeah, so I'll show it to you. Oh, I always go Rocky.